Hi there. Thank you for clicking on this video. And in this short video, we are going to address some common issues that I see with square roots in my classroom. First off is a vocabulary issue. A square root is not the same as squaring. And I would say that most people do know this, but we can get really lazy about how we're speaking. So if you say the square root of 4, that is what you mean, and that is a 2. If you say 4 squared, that is what you mean, and that would be equal to 16. So if you are taking a square root, you want to say square root. If you are squaring something, you want to say that you are squaring because they are related but different operations. Second one is a square root is not the same as a division symbol, and I have seen this at all levels of math. A square root symbol will have a hook on the end of it on the left side. A long division symbol will not. If you are intending to write a division symbol, make sure that you don't get sloppy about it and put a little hook on the end. It does matter. Those are two different symbols, okay? If you are taking the square root of 16, the answer would be 4. If you have the 16 under a division symbol, you would need something out here that you are dividing by. Say 16 divided by 2 is 8. Okay, so definitely not the same symbol. We want to take care that we're not confusing those. And lastly, the square root goes away. Now I have that in quotation marks because I don't like the verbiage goes away after you perform the operation, but it is an operator. It's telling you to do something to the number or expression underneath it. And after you do that thing, you no longer need the symbol there. So in much the same way that after you add 2 plus 3 and get 5, you don't have the plus sign there anymore. After you take the square root of 49, the answer is 7, and there should no longer be a square root. Now, in a weird kind of twist, most of my students, if I ask them verbally, what is the square root of 49, they will tell me 7, and yet on their page, they will write the square root of 7. So a common just misconception is that you keep the square root symbol. Once you have taken the square root, the symbol goes away. This can cause errors if the number you're taking the square root of has a perfect square as its own square root. So 16, if you don't drop the square root and say the square root of 16 is 4, then you end up with the square root of 4, and you might end up taking the square root again, which we don't want to do. So I hope this cleared up some common issues that you might have with square roots, and I hope to see you in a future video.